Alright, today we're going to show you how to make a backdrop for your rendered objects, people, characters, vehicles, whatever you're doing. So the easiest way to do it is to start off with a box. So just simply draw whatever size box you need, like so. What we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to go in face mode and we're going to select these three faces and hit delete. And with those three faces, the next thing we're going to do is double click all this, and we're going to go into mesh display and we're going to reverse our normals, and that's going to give us the ability to look at our inside of the box. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to edge mode, and I'm going to grab those three edges, shift right click and go to bevel. Bevel will allow me to basically create a kind of rough idea here, and then I'm going to go into the attribute editor, into my bevel, and I'm going to kind of average this out a little bit. I'm going to round that around, give it more edges, and then that should be good enough. So now we can put our object in there, whatever we're going to use. In this case, I'm just going to make a simple sphere, and I'm going to bring that sphere up and just set it kind of in that center of the box. Now the beveled edges will allow the object to be less distracting, and then we can kind of zoom in here and kind of create our base object. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our main object, and I'm going to go into my material, and I'm just going to create a new standard surface shader. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to basically make sure that I've got a mid-tone gray or light area here, and then I'm going to make sure my specular weight is all the way down to 0. Then what I'm going to do is select my object and assign that material. And so with that, you can start looking at the base render. Now we're not going to have any render at all because we have no lights in our scene. So let's add a light real quick. And this is customary to kind of what you want. If you want something simple, we can go with physical sky. Otherwise, if you're looking for 3-point lighting, you can set that up as well. So now when we hit render and we look at our render here, you can see that our render is basically set up to go. Now with our physical sky, we can create a kind of adjustment here, change our intensity and change the different objects here. And you can see as I do this, the objects change. So I can play around with elevation, I can make my shadows, I can change around with my azimuth as well. Now you'll notice here that I want more of a kind of an even tone. I want to get rid of shadows. I don't want to have anything very unique and defined, and that's ultimately where we're going to create our box or create our background here. And that's how you set up a background shadow. Now if you do want to do photo, kind of that photo look here, I'm just going to lower the intensity as well. So I'm going to basically go in, and I'll just run this again here. So I've lowered the intensity. So I've got some of a fill light. I don't necessarily need a whole fill light, but then what I can do is add in another light. So in this case, I would add a light area here, and then basically bring that up and bring that back. And we're just going to, again, adjust our intensity. And we are going to scale this a little bit bigger and bring that back. We're going to just move this off screen so I can see, and I'm just going to make sure that my object is looking at it like so. And again, we can play around with exposure, and as we play around with exposure, you can get a nice main light. And so that is another way to set up things. Now with this setup, if you want to do a turnaround, you can rotate this object and animate it as a round object, but our main focus is this object here. Make sure that you don't have a lot of extra stuff going on, shadows, highlights, things like that. We can also scale this bigger and make this drastically bigger, and again push it into the background and move things around. So you can see here that that is a nice setup, and I can play around with, again, other lights, fill lights and things like that. And that's basically how you set up a nice clean background. Again, keep focus of that object. All the other stuff is just background noise. All right, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and if you need some help, let me know. All right, have a good one.